Modern feminism has made women objectify men. It seems in this day and age that men are just extra. They're just an accessory, and you can just pick and choose whatever type of man you want. And they need to be perfect because, I want high quality accessories, so I want my man to be perfect. I don't need a man. I got my money, I got my house, so a man is extra. Why do I need a man? What does a man bring extra in my life? Sadly, this is how a lot of women think about men in this day and age. If you're not strong, if you're not rich, if you're not 6 feet tall, sorry, you're out. And now it seems like the script's been flipped. Men are now being objectified, and we now need to address the objectification from men. In this video, I want to talk about why objectification of any of the sexes is not right. We're talking about human beings here. We're talking about people with feelings and emotions. A man or a woman should not be objectified. So if you're dating to look for the perfect man or the perfect woman, and they need to hit certain superficial standards, then you really need to look at yourself because you are in the dating market for the wrong reasons. So there's a couple of issues that I want to address that have caused this problem in the first place. 1, women are too selective and their standards are too high. Their standards are wonky, let's put it that way. As I mentioned in the start of the video, many women have their own finances in check. They got their own work, they got their own house, they got everything going for them. So honestly, why do they need a man? The man doesn't need to provide anymore. The man doesn't need to secure a home for them anymore. They can all do that themselves, thanks to modern day feminism, which is fantastic. The liberation of women is something that we should promote and celebrate. However, this comes with women now having men as extra and having exorbitantly, insanely long checklists of what men need to have and need to check off of the list that are completely unreasonable. And many women take these checklists to dates. And I am talking about women turning down men because he was wearing an odd pair of socks, or the man had a Velcro wallet. What are we talking about here? Are we not dating for connection to look for a partner who's a good partner? Even I do it sometimes that I wake up late, I'm confused, I don't even know what year it is, and I pick odd socks. Does that make me a bad person? I don't think it does. It just makes me maybe a bit scatterbrained sometimes, and everyone has that sometimes. We're not perfect, and these are not qualifications or standards that you can reject a person for. If you reject a person for that reason, then you need to look at your values. And the result of this is that men feel that they need to be perfect in everything. They need to check a whole bunch of boxes to even make it to the first date. And if they don't, and if they're lucky to make it to that first date, and they wear that pair of odd socks, they're done. No second date. They feel failed like a man because another woman turned them down. But please realize, men and women, that many women turn down men on superficial, stupid reasons. And I want to make that very clear for you women. If you're looking for a good partner, a healthy partner who you can build a loving relationship with, it does not matter if he's wearing odd socks. This does not define a person. It doesn't define you as a person if your hair looks like crap. Does it? It doesn't. Yeah, you look a bit messed up, but it doesn't define who you are as a person. And if you think this is what defines a partner, or the socks that he wears, or if he has a Velcro wallet, you need to get off the dating market right now. The second problem is that many women are dating with superficial criteria. What I mean by that is, they look at a man's height. They look, again, if the man has a Velcro wallet. They look at things that a man cannot control or change. A man cannot just grow a couple of inches to fit your criteria. It's the same if a man would turn you down because your boobs are too small. That is really rude. If he does that, oh my God, the world's on fire. He's toxic. But you do turn him down because he's too short. And women have more of these criteria like financial status, social status. And often this dominates the dating preferences of women. Let's go back on financial status. So you are earning pretty good for yourself, probably as a woman in the West, and you expect a man to out-earn you by a lot. That narrows your dating pool a lot. And there's a lot of good guys who may earn less than you, who are fantastic husbands, who are fantastic partners. And you're ruling all of them out because you want a man to earn more than you, or you want a man to be a certain height, or you want a man to not wear odd socks. So this makes modern men feel reduced to what they can provide and not who they are, which makes dating very superficial and makes dating not about connection, but about what can you provide for me. And this is what men feel in the dating scene today. It's about what they can provide and not about who they are. Women are no longer dating for genuine connection, but what can you give me? And men are checking out from that. Men don't want that. And the third problem is that a lot of women base their dating criteria or what they're looking for in a man on what they see on social media. So they want to be the cute Instagram couple, and the man needs to be this tall, this muscular. We need to go to Bali and have a laptop life, and he needs to take me to resorts, and I want that lifestyle. And if a man cannot provide me that, then he's out. And on top of that, you have a bunch of toxic influencers on TikTok and on YouTube telling every woman that she's a queen and she deserves more. Have you done the work that makes you a queen? Many women just expect to deserve this kind of treatment while they have not done the work. And they're just listening to what's being told on the internet and not taking accountability for their own work and their own healing to be a good partner for another person. They just expect that because it's said and told to them that they're a queen, they're the catch. But honestly, are you the catch? What do you offer a man? Literally, what do you bring to the table of the relationship? And it's great that you want the best for yourself. I understand. I want that too for me. But by this, you are objectifying men because you're looking for specific criteria in men that objectify them. It's about height. It's about money. It's about status. It's about the way they look. It's not about the person. Now, this type of dating comes at a cost, and I want to address this in this video because it's very important, and I want women to understand what the effects are of dating like this. Dating for material gain. Dating a man for his external criteria or criteria that he cannot change. The effects are detrimental on men because men are checking out. They're done with women. They're claiming things that they do not have the right for, and they're not giving anything in return but expecting everything of men. And because women have been turning men for so many stupid criteria and stupid standards that aren't even standards, let's be clear on that. A standard is a value of a person. How do they live? What kind of person are they? What are their beliefs? Those are standards that you can meet in someone. How do they live their life? This objectification of men is making men feel invisible, unseen, and unvalued. And on top of that, men are feeling disposable because women try them out a little, and then he's not rich enough, or he's not, taking her to nice places, and then she just gets rid of him again and finds a better version of a man. And this is even when a man has been putting in the effort, has been loyal, has been emotionally supporting to her like a good partner should. And this results to men pulling back emotionally. So men are withdrawing emotionally because why would they even invest in women like that? Men are pulling back from dating altogether. They're closing their hearts again because they feel rejected for things that they cannot control. Even if they're trying to be a good partner, a woman still rejects them for these physical and material criteria that she has for a man, which are standards which are unrealistic and for most men unable to be met. And it seems like it's never enough for women. So men are pulling back from dating. And even if you're in a relationship, this type of objectification of your man leads to resentment. It leads to a decrease in trust and intimacy because a man feels used. He doesn't trust you that you're with him for who he is, but you're with him for what he can provide for you and not for the person that he is. It feels like you don't even care about the person that he is, but just what he has in a bank account, that he can take you to elaborate dates. And this is where men disconnect. This is where men check out. Why would he give you things if you give nothing in return? This type of dating has huge implications on men's mental health. The trust in dating and relationships and women is eroding for men. And on top of that, to continuously be turned down for things that you cannot do anything about at that moment, that don't mean that you're not a good person, erodes someone's self-esteem. Imagine you continuously being turned down because you're not a blonde, or because your breasts are too small, right? That hurts you. Would you continue to date if men are so superficially looking at you for things that you cannot control, that you cannot change, and they're not even looking at the person that you are from the inside? Of course you would disconnect from dating. Of course you would not want to date men and you would choose to stay single. I hope that you understand that. Men are dating for connection. Men are looking for a partner. They want a partner. But women are making it so difficult because they're not looking for a partner. No, they're looking for what you can provide for them. So ladies, please become aware if you're dating from these intentions. Are you dating to connect with a man, or are you dating to see what he can offer you, or to see how he will make you look when he's your boyfriend or your husband? Recognize that you're selecting a partner based on these standards or these criteria. Try to fight finding a perfect partner. No one is perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Everyone has their flaws. And this is beautiful about a person. This is what you start to learn to love in a relationship, because imperfections make someone unique. But the most important thing for you to take away is that expecting perfection from the men that you're dating reduces men to props, to objects. And this is inhumane and this is not right. You don't want to be reduced to an object, right? This is what we've been fighting. So don't do this to men. Become aware of this. You're dealing with another human being. If you see this in yourself, that you're looking for someone to make you feel better, it can come from insecurities. And you need to work on that. So please start journaling and meditating and try to find out why you want a perfect partner, why no one is good enough for you. Do you not feel good about yourself? Do you feel that you're not perfect as you are, that you cannot meet your own needs? Why is it that you need someone else to be perfect? And please, what comes out of journaling, take this to therapy. Heal yourself, work on yourself, improve yourself, because it's never healthy that we have such high expectations of another person if we're not meeting those standards ourselves. I work a lot on myself. I have high standards of myself. I have very high standards of myself. So I expect that from a partner too, just because I want to lift my partner up and I want my partner to lift me up. But there's people at all levels. So find someone who's at the same level as you are. That's fine. You can grow together. That's what you want. And even if it's someone who is not at the same level of growth, of healing as you are, you can help them heal as well. And they can help you heal. But don't expect that from your partner. Only try and help your partner when you've already done the healing or when you're in therapy. Your partner is not your therapist. Your friends are not your therapist. To heal yourself, you need to get out of your comfort zone and get out of the comfort zone of friends and using your partner as healing. Get professional help. If you do decide to date during this time of healing, please focus on connection. Try to find out who he is as a person. Don't focus on material gains. Don't focus on physical aspects. Just try to have a nice time to get to know this person. Focus on connection, not on perfection. And please, ladies, I cannot stress this enough. Focus on gratitude. See what a man already does for you, whether in dating or relationship. Be thankful what he provides, his energy, his listening ear, the shoulder to cry on. Men put in a lot of effort in women. Even if he takes you out on a simple coffee date, thank him for that. Be grateful that this man wants to spend his time and energy on you. That is a compliment. Try to start to see men as a partner and not as a trophy. And then for my man, I have a couple of tips for you as well to deal with being objectified by women, because sadly it is happening a lot and we need to create awareness of it. And men, you can help prevent this by setting boundaries. If you see a woman who you're dating or who's your partner or your girlfriend or even your wife who is trying to use you and objectify you for material gains, for just being a wallet or a provider, set clear boundaries. Protect yourself, because no one is allowed to use you. You don't have to tolerate being used as an accessory or a walking bank account. And learn to communicate expectations with your partner in a respectful and balanced manner. And another piece of advice is build self-confidence. Work on your self-worth. So not what you have in material gains or possessions or status. Focus on you. Develop yourself. Be proud of yourself. Grow into the man that you desire to be. The strong, educated man. Go to the gym. It helps you with feeling so much better about yourself. Then you don't have to give in into women who want you for material gain or use you as an object, because you know your worth. So read those books, listen to those podcasts, find a coach who can help you work on your self-development and your growth. Always work on yourself, because this gives you self-respect and it will prevent you from allowing people to use you for what you have. But you will learn to respect yourself and teach people to respect you for what you are. And please be quick to recognize red flags. If you see someone's just using you for status, material gains, or doesn't have an interest in you emotionally or who you are as a person, that is a huge red flag. That is not a relationship. You should not just always be paying for her and she's not giving anything back. Of course, you can take her out, but see how she treats your gift, because you are giving her a gift financially, but also your energy and your emotion, your support. So if you see these red flags, address them as soon as you can and move away from relationships that don't fulfill you. This is really important. You don't have to stay with someone who's just using you. Find someone who is investing back into you, whether emotionally or with time. Maybe she doesn't have that much money as you, but that's fine. Is she still connecting with you, with the person that you are, and not the status symbol that you provide to her? Just try to remember that not everyone is as aware or awake as you're trying to be, because you're watching this video, you're trying to understand yourself and women and men better. So kudos to you, but please don't close your heart. Don't lose your emotional openness. Be brave, be open, communicate about yourself and your standards and your needs. Be a man who leads from kindness and from respect to another person, even if they don't understand yet where you come from or if they cannot meet your standards yet. You are not just a provider, you're not an object, and you're not here to be used by women. You are a human being and you have a soul, and a true partner, a woman with a good heart, will want to connect with your soul. So try to find the people that want to connect with you on a soul level. Don't brag about what you have. Don't show what you have financially or in status. Just try to connect with them on a human to human level. And this will quickly weed out the ones that are there for status or to objectify you. Women as well as men need to shift the focus from perfectionism, from materialism, and from status. That is not what we should date from. We should date from connection, from a human to human connection. That's what we want, right? This is what dating should be. It's not about what you have or what you can provide for someone else. Of course, in a relationship, there is a certain level of providing for each other, but this should be balanced. So let's shift from this materialistic mindset to a growth mindset and really work on being the best partner we can possibly be for another human being. So to recap, ladies, don't see men as objects. They're not there to provide for you. They're not there to increase your status or your Instagram feed or get you more likes. They're humans. They're people. So connect with men on a heart-to-heart human level. And for the man, value yourself to walk away from someone who uses you for material gains or status. Set boundaries. Be clear about that. But don't brag about your gains and what you own. Don't let that lead. Lead from true connection. Try and connect with a person on a human-to-human level. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope that it was helpful and that you picked up some tips on how you can protect yourself, but also how you can date from a healthy mindset and make sure that you're not using another person, because no one wants to be used as an object or objectified or just used for what they can provide. It's about a heart-to-heart human connection, and we need to get back into dating into that mindset. So thank you so much for watching today. If you liked this video and if it was helpful, please give this video a like, send it to a friend who needs to hear this, and subscribe to my channel because it helps to get my message out to a wider audience so we can together heal this dating industry and get back into connection and rebalance the masculine and feminine polarity, because it's so important in relationship, but also in society at a larger scale. Now, if you want to support my work, I have started writing a book. It's called The Shadowside of Feminism. And in this book, I'm exploring if feminism has cast an unintentional shadow over modern men and dating, and how we can rebalance that in a healthy manner. If you want to stay up to date about my writing, you will find a link in the pinned comment down below where you can sign up to my mailing list. It's completely free, but you will stay up to date on when my book is finished. If you found this video interesting, I would suggest you check out this video next. I think it perfectly aligns with this topic, and it will really help you deep dive to understand these dynamics. Thank you again for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next video.